Hello everyone. Today I'm going to have a bit of a fridge clear out, including that pesky green pepper that comes in a 3-pack that nobody wants, and I'm going to make a sort of ratatouille type mixture. So first off I have to prepare the onions, and you'll notice that I have a technique which is quite likely to chop your fingers off, but no rules really about how fine you want to chop the onion, because it's all going to break down eventually anyway. So first job is to chop it up, pop it in the saucepan. So here we go. You'll notice I'm using a bread knife because I haven't really got anything decent, but it's the sharpest knife, so that's what I'm going to go for. And in the background there you'll see our wonderful Robert Welsh cutlery. There it is. I'll use one of those spoons later on. So finally got to the chopping up stage, and you can see that my fingers are looking very vulnerable there. You'll see I've got a couple of garlic there to use in a moment. That's the next stage. Add that to the onion. Anyway, about time we shoveled that into the pan. There we go. I think I saw this technique of chopping an onion on TV. Probably not got it quite down to the expertise. Ooh, I had a little bit of skin there. That the professionals have. But anyway, does the job. And the rest of it into the pan as well. So onto the garlic. More opportunities to slice up my fingers, but didn't manage to do it again. Anyway, garlic, add it to the onion. Lovely. Now the celery, all's good for a bit of crunch. Incidentally, all these vegetables that I'm going to be chopping up have been well washed. Looks a bit expert, doesn't it? Here we go, chop, chop, chop. And the celery into the pan too. Now, it obviously needs some oil. Probably a good cook would melt the oil first in the pan before adding all the other stuff. But I do it my way, and you'll notice this is coconut oil, and this particular batch was a bargain, bought in health food shop in Bridgnorth when we were on holiday. I think we've got another pot of that somewhere. Anyway, pile a good load in and turn on some heat, and needs a jolly good stir. Need to keep stirring this every so often, and we're waiting for the onions to break down, so it's going to take quite a long time with that lot. So in the meantime I can prepare the rest. So well coated in the oil now that's melted. Coconut oil's got a good high temperature rating, so probably better to use that than olive oil. Anyway, on to the other vegetables, and here's that pesky old green pepper, and we'll lose that in the mixture. You can see this yellow pepper's got a bit missing already. That's because it got a bit close to the back of the fridge, I think, and went a bit soggy, so that needs using up too. Chopping these up into reasonable chunks, not too big, not too small. Again, size doesn't really matter. Lovely. Now the aubergine or eggplant, depending on what you want to call it. You could equally use courgette here. It's to get a bit of fleshy substance to soak up the lovely mixture once it's underway. So all of this will be added a bit later on, once the onions are broken down and the magic ingredients have been added. You can use the final mixture for all sorts, like adding to pasta, but I'm going to make a pizza, so I've got some dough here that I started a little while ago, and I'm going to make a loaf out of this and save a little bit for a pizza base. And if you're not sure how easy it is to make bread, I can recommend a video on this channel. This dough is half wholemeal and half white flour. Make it fairly light. Back to the mixture, you can see it's beginning to break down. Now it's time for the super secret ingredients. About a tablespoon of balsamic vinegar is going in. Give that a good stir up. Lovely. And once that's reduced a bit, we're going to put in a squirt of tomato puree, and that needs to be mixed in and cooked down a bit as well. So looking good, and finally a very small teaspoon of golden syrup or some other sugary substance. So it doesn't need too much, just a drizzle. There we go, and of course you can lick the spoon for the rest of that so it's not wasted. Mix it all together, and it's now approaching a stage where we can add the other ingredients. Before that though, just a dash of Italian seasoning from good old Daily Bread. Trouble is that's mostly salt now, so not many herbs left in it. Never mind, it needs a bit of salt, not too much though. Right, that's looking good. Now to add all the other ingredients. Here we go. Lovely jubbly. Those aubergines will soak up all that tasty onion mix. And we'll mix it all together. And it'll need to simmer for a little while so that those vegetables soften down a bit. Okay, so it's looking quite nice now. And we've got final ingredient, a tin of tomatoes to add to it. I quite like these ones. If I can open it. Oh. Often wonder what elderly people have to do to get lids off those things. It can be a real pain. Anyway, whole tin of that in. Try and get every last drop out. And mix it all in. And again, this, once it's all mixed in, we'll need to simmer a while. So here's my bit of saved dough for the pizza base, and give it a few herbs and a bit of olive oil just to make the base a little bit different, a bit tastier than normal bread. So in goes the oil, ordinary olive oil this time, although you could use coconut oil if you wanted, and mix it all in together. Okay, now the tricky bit to try and roll out the pizza base. First attempt at this was a disaster, it all fell to bits and had to start again. A bit of flour, a rolling pin, and sort of get roughly the right shape, not too bothered. And then plonk it onto the pizza tray, and it'll need to be covered up and left to rise for about half an hour or so, or thereabouts. So here we are, the base has risen slightly. Got a few cherry plum type tomatoes there ready to put on the finished pizza. And now the mixture should be all ready, and I'll go for one of those Robert Welsh spoons to put it on. Here we are. Oh, that's really tasty stuff, this. Other things you can do with it, obviously you can just serve it as a vegetable. You could make a sausage casserole with it, you could add it to pasta and have a pasta meal, so all sorts of things. But on its own it's really nice and tangy and tasty as well, so enjoy it however you like. Non-vegans of course could add some cheese to this pizza, and that makes it quite tasty as well. So there we are, into the oven, about 180 to 200 degrees for about half an hour, and then fish it out, all done. Look at that, that's lovely.